ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು
Absolute mayhem at the Wankhede Stadium. There was over 15, 16, 17, 18 that went for a runner ball, and then 48 runs coming in the last 2 overs. That's what has happened there. Hello and welcome. You're watching Voltas Presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, a stunned Joy Bhattacharya and a jaw on the floor, Simon Doull. Because that's just what's happened. It has propelled them, catapulted them to 180, where 150 looked a little suspect, Joy, about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even if you see what Suryakumar, Sky for the major part of his innings was batting at a runner ball.
Yeah.
And the other thing was he didn't seem to be able to time anything. And then Naman comes on the other side, just starts timing it and something gets unlocked in Sky.
Yeah.
And then after that, the results, 13.2. But even that doesn't tell you the story because 16, 17 and 18 have gone actually for just 6
For runner ball, yes.
Yeah. So basically the last 2 overs are at 24 and over.
Yep.
24 and over.
48 runs, 27 in the 19th and 21 in the 20th. And Delhi looked like they all looked like they had, it was like me in an exam, you have questions and you have no answers.
It was, it should have been 165, something like that, which Delhi would have felt still not an easy chase, but now I think it's a tough chase. You know, Mumbai's bowling attack, the way that Sky batted, but Naman's innings, is what we keep talking about, these cameos.
Yeah.
24 off 8.
Absolutely.
Striking at 300.
Jeez.
That's what's propelled them to 180.
Yeah.
You know, that's a massive innings. You look at Tilak struggled, 27 off 27.
Yep.
Will Jacks was decent, Rickleton okay at the top. Sky's innings was superb. I think it was 40 off 31.
Yep, that's correct.
And so he's got 33 off his last 12 balls, along with Namandia getting 24 off 8. So brilliant finish to the innings, but it does show you, I think, and we talked about in the comm box, it's not an easy surface. I think this is quite a tough pitch, and if there's no dew, it might not be an easy chase. This.
We were talking about this before. It looked like it was gripping a bit. It was helping the spinners. It was the seam was getting stuck a bit. That's the kind of surface that we've got because of the weather and the pitch being covered for 2 days?
I think it is, and I think you're definitely going to see Santner bowl, but you're going to see Will Jacks as well, I think. Because this is the kind of surface, expect Karan Sharma might be able to come in. You're going to see all that happening because I think spinners were very difficult to get away on this pitch. And the moment the fast bowlers, remember, Kuldeep Yadav, 16th over went for 4 runs. In the 16th over, you're bowling against a side that has 5 batters still in the hatch. Yeah. And he goes for 4 runs.
Yeah, he was brilliant today. If you look at the bowlers, obviously Dushmanta Chamira and Mukesh Kumar, their figures have suffered because, they've got dealt with in the final 2 overs that they bowled. So that's what's showing with Mukesh. There's a 27-run over there. Remember that, right? With Chamira, there's a 21-run over and a 15-run over earlier as well. So Chamira not having the best day. Mustafizur Rahman got the 1 wicket of Rohit right up top. Bring it back. I'm not seeing the spinners. I was just going, hey, there you go. Thank you. Kuldeep, who we were talking about, has not had the best days so far. He's gone back to the economy of his first half of the tournament with going at less than a run a ball. That's gold against this batting line.
And the key to Fizz's spell, yes, there was a bit of on-pace stuff, but a lot of it was those cutters.
Yeah.
Going across the right-handers, taking pace off, making it difficult to hit. So that, to me, says someone like Hardik might be quite difficult. Because he bowls a lot of those into the surface type cutters. We know that Bumrah is going to be tough anyway. If there's a little bit of swing up front, then Mumbai could be, they could be all over them if there's a little bit of shape up front for Bolt and Chahar, because I think then it will only get more difficult through that middle period.
The truth is, though, that the bowlers are actually in this game because of Surya's innings. Surya's got 73 out of the 180 that they've put on the board. But most importantly, Surya, just in a way Surya can do, has taken Mumbai to this break with the impetus and with the momentum behind them, thanks to his big finish.
Absolutely. That's what is fantastic about him, because he was not timing the ball. He was not getting it right. And you could make out he's struggling. He's trying to get himself play himself in. But what he did was he stuck in there. He stuck in there. He didn't throw his wicket because he knows they'd lost 3 very early. So he knows that, if not very early, reasonably early. So he's in a situation where he knows he's got to do the running out here.
Yeah.
And he knows also this is not the ideal pitch for somebody like a Hardik to bat. Hardik likes space on the ball. So he knows that, that late middle order is a bit suspect out here. I need to stay. And I think those are good decisions that he makes. The other thing I was thinking about, today, for Delhi not to have Akshar today is a tragedy.
Yeah.
Think of Akshar today. You have 2 spinners, look at them, look at what they've gone for.
Yeah, true.
And
That's
had
just
they got
bad
that
luck,
extra
isn't it?
On that pitch.
And he's unwell. Just in case you've just tuned in, Akshar not playing today. Faf is captaining. Akshar not playing because he's unwell. They just said that he's not doing too good, so that's why he didn't play today. They would have really needed him, and things are really not going for Delhi that way. But Surya has said after the innings, he said, I was wanting to play an innings like this where I could stay till the end and take the team home. Now, agreed, it's only halfway in the match, but his reading is that this is a 160, 165 pitch, and he has said that we've got 15 more than par.
Yeah, well, that's what we talked about. And that 15 more than par comes about because he is set and finally he finds someone who's able to find the boundaries in Namandir.
Yeah.
And when he started clearing the boundaries, as Joy said, it almost freed Surya up to say, I don't have to do it all on my own here. I can actually take a bit more of a risk. But you don't get to take that risk unless you allow yourself the time, which is what he did, and the patience to get set and to actually understand the pace of this surface. And he would have known, because they bowled Fizz out relatively early, he would have known that Chamira and Mukesh had to come back at the back end. So if we get through 15, 16, 17, we know that at some stage Chamira's got to bowl again, Mukesh has got to bowl again, and that's when I will try. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's exactly how it did work out tonight, because he allowed himself the time, stayed patient, and said, I can do damage when these 2 come back on in the last couple of overs, or last 2 or 3 overs, if I get the chance. And he read it beautifully.
That's just experience. That's just how good he is. His partnership, as I'm seeing on the Cricbuzz app, with Namandir is a 57-run partnership in 21 balls.
Amazing.
Right? That's nuts. 57 run. Oh, it was already calculated. I did the math myself looking at the scoreboard. That was pretty good.
Look at all the others.
Yeah.
All the other partnerships, a couple at a run a ball. The 55, only just better than a run a ball.
But so important now because it sets them up for the end.
Absolutely. And then that partnership was very important because, as you said, they'd lost 3 relatively early. So the Suryakumar partnership just could have rescued things, put them in a position where, with the power that was to come, they still had the ability to go hard late in the piece. And yeah, it was a terrific effort in the end. It looked like, as we say, 160. If he said that 15 to 22 many or above par, I think he's right in the way the surface played.
True. It is, when you look at the asking rate, right? If you just look at it in isolation in a vacuum, 9's not a very impossible asking rate in today's day and age. Now with KL Rahul there, he's another guy who, again, has got the kind of experience that Surya does. And if he can stick around, right, if he knows that this is the business model of playing here, that you stick around, get your eye in, and then because of the battery of pacers, there will be some that will give it in your arc, maybe not the spinners, the pacers will. He could actually be quite key in this chase for them.
I think he's the key in the chase for them. But, the only one thing that I'd say is they'd look at 180 and say, we have to go harder than Mumbai in the first 6.
True.
Okay? Because the other thing is that Mumbai has fantastic death bowlers. You have Bumrah coming in at the death, you have Bolt coming in at the death. You have bowlers who bowl really well at the death.
Yeah.
Whereas Chamira and Mukesh, whatever it is, even at the best of times, they're not known for their death bowling.
Yeah, true.
So my point is, I think they'll have to tell themselves, we need to go really hard up front and break the back of the chase. If you remember a couple of days back, exactly what Abhishek Sharma did. He broke the back of that chase, 50 in 21 odd balls. Boom. After that, everyone can play at 8.5 and over, you can get through.
Yeah.
But the point is that if you allow this target to go above 11, 11.5, 12, and you have the likes of Bumrah coming in towards the end.
Mumbai's too good then.
Yeah.
They're not going to let you win if you let the asking rate creep up to 11, 12.
No, and that's the key. But the thing for Delhi will be who does that. Because if you want KL to bat all the way through, he can't be overly aggressive at the start.
Yeah.
Does Faf take that responsibility on?
Yeah.
And play that role and be a little bit more aggressive? He's actually got a good matchup against Trent Bolt. Faf, he's pretty good record against Trent Boult. Ball will be swinging, back into him. Chahar swinging it away. So, he might fancy himself taking on Chahar. Obviously played a lot with him at Chennai. You'll know him relatively well. So he might fancy himself to take a little bit of that responsibility early.
I have a question for the both of you. Faf's there, KL Rahul is there, Abhishek Porel is there. Who are you opening with?
Well, they're likely to maybe go with a left-right combination, but I still think Faf should open with KL. I think KL's got to be at one end after what he's done opening the batting.
60 ball 100, yeah.
Yeah, I think he has to be at one end. Their decision will be, do we leave Faf where he's played most of his cricket, or do we look at a left-right combination to try and change things up?
Because you also then, the counterpoint to that is that you do want Porel. I mean, you're saying Faf's best suited to open, KL's best suited to open. But you need maybe that booster shot of a Porel up front who can take you to a 65-run power play maybe.
Yeah, look, the only way I see Delhi winning this is if they stay ahead of the run rate throughout.
Okay.
That means you set up early up front, get ahead of the run rate, get at least 60, 65 in your first 6, and then stay there so that you don't have to. If you try and catch up, it's not going to happen. So for that, it seems that Porel seems to be a better idea. But here's my point, and I just go back to the same thing. Porel for me is a bit like Rahane. Porel has power, more power than Rahane. But the point is that if Faf sticks for 6 overs, he can stick for 15 overs. He's that kind of a bat. Give him that opportunity. And Faf does this thing, especially with people who swing a bit, because he's big and he has that strength. He stands up. So he's going to minimize Deepak Chahar's ability to swing the ball. He's going to bat way out of his crease. He's going to try and minimize that. And he's capable of telling KL that I'm going to take the chances up front.
Yeah.
I would like Faf to come in. I don't think they'll do that, but I'd like Faf to come in. I totally agree with him.
Hang on, let me see. Let me have a look. There's KL and Faf. KL and Faf.
There you go. Good.
That's them walking in. I can see Wankhede Stadium over here. That's it.
You can see them both?
I can see them
done.
both.
So we might see Santner in the power play then.
Yep.
Mightn't he see Santner with
two right-handers.
the third or fourth over?
Interesting.
Possibly. If it's swinging a little bit and Boult and Chahar start well, then normally Chahar will get 3. Boult might get 2. Might save Bumrah and give Santner 1 in the power play if the 2 righties are still there.
What do you think? What's your power play guess then? What are they going to get in the power play?
Way off.
I've got it wrong all the time, so I'm going 67.
67.
It's high.
Yeah. I'm going 59.
59.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 55.
Can I tell you why I've gone slightly lower than 10 and over?
Yeah, just wicket.
2 dots?
There's a Mitchell Santner over in there.
Already?
No, I'm saying it's going to come.
Okay,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Listen, by the way, in case you didn't make your team, you can make it. You missed it today, you can do it tomorrow. Cricbuzz 11, lots of prizes to be won, including a 2.2 crore grand prize. Sorry, you heard me right. 2.2. 2.2! It's a lot of money. I'm still thinking whether I want to change my guess. 59? I think that's good.
59's fine.
59, you're 55?
Locked in. 55, 59, 67.
67.
At this point in time, there's nothing else I can do. I might as well play the bull market.
Which is... Are you sure we're asking you again?
Yeah.
You're gonna write it down.
If Delhi's going to have... No, I'm not writing anything. Anything written on the field after this, after watching Digvish get fined for what he's doing, I'm not writing anything anymore, man. There's too much money at stake.
That's a good one. Okay, again, 55, 59, 67. Good joy. All right, well, 181 is what Delhi need. Let me just quickly tell you, recap for you how important this win is for Delhi. If Delhi can get to 181, they are still alive. If Mumbai managed to stop them, Mumbai qualifies and season over for Delhi, with just the 1 game left, but season over for them. So for the tournament to still stay open, because these are the only 2 teams now that are fighting for 1 spot, right? The only 2 teams. We've still got 6 league games left?
Yeah.
Yeah, six league games left. So if you want to keep it interesting, then you know who you're rooting for. But at this point, with just the way things have gone in the last 2 overs, you'd want to say that advantage Mumbai just a little bit at the halfway stage.
Yeah, I think advantage Mumbai with 180 on the board. But, Delhi have every chance to play well.
Can they do it? What do you say? What's it going to be? Quickly.
Delhi.
Ooh, nice. I like that.
Wow.
Why
I
not?
like it. Advantage Delhi. Excellent. Advantage Mumbai for
In
you.
the blue corner.
Amazing.
This blue corner bullshit has to go.
The BCBS. All right, well, that's all we have time for. We're going to see you at the end of the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox. Do join us then. You were watching Voltas Presents Cricbuzz Live. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Bye, bye, bye. See you. Start.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad Bumrah Express, Station, Netaji Bhavan.